My name's Sarah Fox. I'm a second-year PhD in the history department here at University of British Columbia, and I do modern environmental history. I started out as a master's student with a project that investigated people's stories of being exposed to radiation from nuclear testing. The stories of people in these communities who are dealing with the repercussions of exposure to contamination over many generations. They're often viewed as statistically insignificant by academics. In other words, people's memories, people's observations about the way their environments had changed or about the way their health had been impacted weren't seen as valid. And so as a result, these stories tend to be passed over. That doesn't mean that they're any less valid. That doesn't mean that they're any less useful. Communities that operate based on oral transmission of knowledge have complex and really sophisticated systems that have developed over generations to keep that knowledge accountable to the community. What I'm really hoping to do is bridge the work that I've done in communities with the work that scholars are doing in academia. The element of my research that is involved in conversation is very much an ethnographic methodology that comes from anthropology. It's also informed by folklore studies and by examining the way that people tell stories. I think ultimately the Killam Award to me represents a validation of the significance of ordinary people's forms of knowledge to academic discourse, that these ways of knowing that are based on people's experiential observations of changes in their environment, changes in their communities, changes in their health and well-being. This is a recognition that these are valid forms of knowledge that are worthy of study by academics.